Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Gran Turismo 7 video. Now recently we have added to the game the Gran Turismo update, the 1.36, and it's focusing heavily on the Gran Turismo 7 movie. Now with that in mind, we also have a new time trial that comes with it. So I'm going to take you into it, I'm going to show you the time trial, but I'm also going to show you what it's like for an average driver like myself, someone who's just scraping to be in the A's, really a B driver, let's be honest, and how easy is it to actually achieve this time trial. We're going to have a look at what the time is, see how easy it is to get to that time, and see what the best we can achieve. So let's get straight into it. We're going to pop into the world map, and once you're in the world map, you're going to find that the Gran Turismo section is on there. Right, and with that, we're going to get this car, the Nissan GTR, the one from the movie. It's the car that we already have in the game, but it's got that new striking livery. There's a few branding things, see if you can spot what they are. They are in the actual real life, but not in this one. So just try and see if you can figure out what they are. And then just like that, we went into the movie website and we're going to right back out. We got the car, so now we can actually go into sport mode and do the time trial for the movie. So once you get here, you'll see that in the sports section, you've got the time trials available to you in the daily races. If you go into online time trial, you're going to see that this is there. Currently there's still 49 days to go, so this is going to be quite a long one, and you can already see that the lap time world record is 128.119. It's set by Laporte. Once you go in, you're going to see what sort of lap time we need to achieve. So if you see up here, we need to be in a 130.7 to get the gold currently. That will come down, that will most likely come down, so really we want to try and get that into 130.5, maybe a 130.3. so we'll see what we can achieve. We've got 49 days to go. It's in the Nissan GTR that we've just been given. You don't actually need to do that to do the time trial. You can just do it without getting the car gifted first. It's the Racing Hard Tyres at the Red Bull Ring. So if we go back into it, click enter, we'll select the car, and we are going to go off into the time trial. This BOP is applied, so it should be pretty standard for everyone. There's a few catches here, so sometimes you look at the wind, it is set to 0 meters per second, which is a good thing. We'll see what it's like in the race, because sometimes that does play around with the weather that you get in the race. It is 0 meters per second, so that's a good thing. We don't need to worry about that. And as you can see, my pedals weren't turned on, so there with us. We'll be right back.
A few moments later.
And turn in here, try and catch a bit of this side so we don't go too far wide. You want to try and stay on the red and white, otherwise your lap will be invalidated and it'll be a wasted lap. 21 seconds up on that first time, not the previous lap. And again, we're gaining time there, so it's about 22 seconds that we've gained, and that's going to give us a 32.0, so we're 1.5 off where we need to be. And just to remind, this isn't about a track guide, this isn't to see take dig at any of the other videos, at anyone else. It's really just to see what an average driver will have to do to achieve these gold medals and get these 2 million credits. As you can see there, I use a lot more of the curb going into it, so that's given us a much better line, and we're going to keep gaining time all the way down this straight. As you can see, it's not much, it's just little bits, but it's still quick and gaining time, so we can do the same here. Use as much as we can, open up the corner, tight a line in, and there we are, we're getting a bit more time going up the straight. With a GTR, from what I've been told, just keep revving the car out. I'm not revving it out enough. Again, going into here, hit the brakes. We want to try and get the corner and on the power as soon as we can. So we're already almost half a second up. And we missed a shift there, but we're still gaining time. Even though we missed that shift, we're still gaining time. And again, we missed another shift. And we know now we've lost a lot of time on that last sector there. So So that's where we need to gain a lot of time. We lost about 3/10 on that last corner, and I've played it a bit. So what I'm going to do at this point is I've had 6 laps now where we've tried to achieve that time as we've been reset. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to back out. So we've got a 31.3, which we're not too far off. So it's taken us 6 laps to get to this point. And what I want to do at this point is I want to go and actually just check what the world record times are doing. I want to look at the ghosts, or the replays, and also maybe load up at one ghost for myself. So we have a little driving marathon there. We're close to getting a ticket, and we're going to go into qualifying time trial. And at this point you can play the replay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the controller. I want to try and get an idea of what they're doing in each lap. So we're kind of going to have a lap guide effectively with the world record time, the current world record time. So we're going to play that replay, and we're going to display all the information, and we're going to have a look. So change the view into this one. So they're hitting the brakes well in to past the 150, so that's a bit of thing to look at now. And then turning in, catching a lot of corner there, and in out into 3rd gear. Again, where they're going to brake is about the 100 board. Get into 1st gear and cut quite a bit of the corner and into 2nd. So nothing really different to what we're doing other than the braking points and the acceleration. Also using a lot more of the track. Again, about the 100 meters into 1st gear. So that's what we're doing. First, and then quickly into 3rd. Look at that. That was quickly into 3rd gear. So we need to pay attention to that. There was a bit of a double shift, and that's probably to do with traction. Going wide again, turning in 2nd gear. So I was doing that in 3rd, and then straight into 3rd gear again. Going down this section, 4th gear, turn into 3rd, hug this corner. That's probably going to help with the rotation, and power out onto the red and white into 4th gear and getting up into this section here. They're going into 5th. Again, they're going wide, braking about the 75 meters into 3rd gear and using as much of the track as they can. 4th gear, and then 2nd for the last sector, and straight into 3rd. So we don't really want to use 2nd gear a lot, and that's your world record time there. Right, so we've had a look at the world record time. We know what they're kind of doing. We don't really want to use 2nd gear. We want to shift at the hairpin at the end of turn 3 down the bottom of the long straight. At the Rossi accident corner is what I'm going to call it. And we want to go from 1st into 3rd. If I can remember correctly. The video might prove me wrong. I might be talking a bit of gibberish after I've just seen it. But we're going to go in. We're on a 31.390. We're in the 3.71%. And we want to try and aim for a 30.7 or a 30.5 ideally. So get the car again. There's only one livery that you can use, and we're going to go back out onto track and try and put everything that we've learnt in there into use in this race. Right, so we're going to start again. So as you can see, it's not the easiest of things for someone who's not an alien in the game. The average Joe, it does take a lot of practice. It's not one of those things that you can just do in 1 or 2 laps. You have to try and learn all the little subtle things. Again, braking there. I think I could have gotten the power earlier if I had taken the corner right. Down the hill. Again, I'm going to brake a little bit later or earlier just to make sure I get there into this corner. Again, I've still gone a bit too deep, but we'll see what we do. That's still a decent exit, I think. Again, it's all going to be about here. We're going to brake a little bit earlier, so we're going to brake about there. The 3rd gear just allows me to control the car a little bit better. And bear in mind, I am also not using any traction control here. Again, I'm losing a lot of time there. If I clip that corner, it does give me a little bit extra rotation. And we're going to see what this lap's going to turn out to. We're going to brake about here, into 3rd gear, shut the car in, run a bit wide, down into 2nd. once we're in second, we can go straight up into third, get on the power. And what we're going to do, what lap times? 30.7, so we're already there, so we just need a slight improvement now on that lap time. And we've invalidated because I hesitated on the throttle. So that is showing that we are just about there. We are into world record time. And we would have been about 2 tenths up on that world record time. So we would have been in 30.5, where we want to be. So we're pretty much there.
One eternity later.
And as we go to the end of the lap, we're going to now try and concentrate and see if we can actually put it together this time round. And at this end of this lap, we're almost 2 tenths up. We're 30.5. Right, but this is where we're going to leave it. We're going to see our best lap of the race, or the time trial. So it's taken us a good while to get to this point. It's not a one lap thing for an average driver like myself. If you're A+, you might well do this a lot quicker. You might not, maybe need about 2-3 laps. If you're an A rated driver, low A, high B, you might be looking at a lot longer. Now the things I've looked out for, I can still go a little bit wider in that section. Going on the power, that's my problem in these cars. Maybe traction control 1 might actually help a little bit. Going down the hill, it's all about keeping your foot on the throttle and trying to get as far wide as you can on the red and white, but also braking early enough so I could have got the 2 wheels on the curb. And the main thing here is we missed that apex. We could have got a lot closer to it and gained a bit more time, but actually still gained quite a bit of time on my previous best lap on there. So going down here again, we're just going to have a look at what I've done. Is I've hit the brakes a little bit too early, could have gone a little bit wider and taken this corner a lot wider as well. But into third gear, we kept the car going. And again here, we want to use this section here. Could have gone a little bit wider, gone into second, and we've missed the apex as well. So we could have still gone a little bit tighter there. In this section, maybe run a bit wider to get a slightly wider entry into this section. Could have been more on the throttle, but I felt the car was going to get off the track in this section. I had to back off a little bit. And then actually going up here, this isn't too bad, I don't think. We're going to hit the brakes about bang on where we want to. Drop it down a bit, and we could have gone a little bit wider. I did feel the car did pull down a bit. I think I shifted into the wrong gear. We're going across the finish line. That's our lap time, and that's going to be our world record time. Well, not our world record, our personal record. So we're going to look at the ranking board, where that's put us. It's put us at 8,000th in the world, with 30.56 seconds. In terms of our friends list, look at that, we're ahead of Nathan Tate, just ever so slightly. Casual Brit, 30.1, and Mention Sonic. So these guys, shout out to them. Actually, all these 6 ahead of me. So Mensch, TCR Sonic, Casual Brit, RTR Vegas, Pat's PTV, TCR Rubber Dog. They're all quicker than us. But look at this, ahead of Nathan Tate, which he's not a slow driver. So it just shows you where we are. in terms of that. If we're back out, look at, you can actually see right there 130.7, it's in the 2.78%, and that's currently going to give us our 2 million credits. I don't think that would be good enough. I might have to get back on and try that again, because I do feel that lap time will be a lot quicker. But we're going to back out, we're going to have another look at that screen just to see what is actually being said here. So our lap time, as you can see, is a 130.567. It's 2.78% into the gold record time, so we're good at the moment. There's a chance actually we might actually be good enough. We don't know. It depends on how much these people actually try. But we're looking at this and we can't actually see some of the big names in there yet. So just take that with a pinch of salt. You probably do need to get into the 30.3s, depending on what these guys do. But yeah, that's our guide, guys. That's how it takes an average driver to get to the gold in the time trial for the Gran Turismo movie at the Red Bull Ring using the new GTR 13 livery. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have enjoyed it, please do go ahead to hit the like button and tell me in the comments what you think. How are you finding this time trial? Are you struggling? Are you having as tough a time as I did to get to it? And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've been Chunky, and I'll see you on the next one. Chunky out.